Let's go to inflation. Our rate is still too high. It's 7%. Remember, the target band that the RBA wants to get to is between 2 and 3. So we've got a long way to come down before we start to ease up on interest rates. Here was the Governor, Phil Lowe, talking about this very point last night.
The level of output produced per hour work in Australia today is the same as it was 3 years ago. No growth in labour productivity over 3 years. If that remains the case, then the challenges that we face at the central bank are going to be more difficult to deal with.
Now, in his typically bookish way, he's making the point of unless we lift productivity, we're not going to do anything much with inflation. And then Daniel, the point there made by Patrick, we're basically turning into job snobs. We're too proud to do some of the things that we used to do, and we'd rather sit on the dole. How are we going to get productivity moving with those sorts of unemployment numbers and the fact you can hardly get people back into an office anymore?
Well, there's a couple of key things, Peter. The first is to cut red tape and deregulation. This is exactly what happened in the Abbott government, as you know, in 2013 and 14. Big red tape reduction agenda, billions of dollars knocked off in the cost there. So that's how you get businesses going and increasing productivity. Just to build on a point that Patrick made in terms of a specific area of red tape we need to be looking at, which is all of the financial costs and disincentives and red tape on pensioners, veterans and students who wanted to get into the job market. The government have said they're going to bring in almost 750,000 more migrants into Australia to take up the jobs when they're not doing anything meaningful about the massive penalties on Australians who want to get into work. So this is a big area of public policy failing, I think, on behalf of the federal government, and they need to be doing more to cut those red tape and tax barriers on Australians who want to get into jobs.